Hello, welcome. It's Richard and...
Paul.
You don't need to shout.
Paul.
Yeah. There's no Wily Wednesday, and
No Wily Wednesday.
it's my fault.
It's his fault.
I was going to make something. I'm not going to say what it is, but it kind of went wrong. It did actually go wrong. It involved the melting of candle wax, and the candle wax would not melt. I have no idea why.
Did you heat it up?
No, Paul, I prayed over it.
Well, that's not going to do anything.
Of course I heated it up. I was using the microwave, but it just wouldn't melt. I know that they put a hardener in wax to make it harder. And I think these particular candles probably had a large amount of that ingredient in them. It simply wouldn't melt. So, back to the drawing board. I mean, I tried a flamethrower and everything. No, I didn't really. And you have to be careful with wax because it does have a flash point. So, yeah. So anyway, but we do have a story to tell you. As you know, as we mentioned the other day, Paul went for a gastroscopy today because he'd had a little bit of pain, and whilst it's not horrendously bad news, it's not all good news either. So you've had a diagnosis, haven't you?
Yeah, I have something called Barrett's esophagus. So, what is it?
No, you're going to talk about that.
Well, you've done all the investigation into it.
Well, Barrett's esophagus is a pre-malignant condition where part of the esophagus has been damaged over time by acid reflux. And because it has been damaged, the cells are trying to repair themselves, but they grow up normally. And it can, in a very small proportion of people, turn cancerous. So you've been told that you've got this, and you've also got a hiatus hernia.
Well, yeah, that's actually not mentioned on the piece of paper, is it?
Is that what they said?
They said at the time, and then they said it's possible Barrett's esophagus, and then said it was Barrett's esophagus.
So
afterwards.
you haven't got a hernia?
Well, no, I do. A hernia is where it goes through the duodenum, and they did explain that.
Well, it's where the stomach pops up through the diaphragm.
Yeah, diaphragm. That's
into the esophagus. Yeah.
So
okay.
So yeah, a few sort of changes really in what we do.
I mean, you know, don't worry, we're okay. We're both fine. And you have to deal with these things in a practical way.
Yeah.
Because if you're given a diagnosis of something, there's not a great amount you can do. You can panic.
That's not a good idea.
You can go into a sort of mini meltdown and start worrying about it and start pacing and, you know, doing all those things that are anxiety-based activities. But there's probably no point in doing that because that raises the cortisol, the adrenaline, which immediately is not good for you at all. So we like to take a practical approach. And I mean, you're feeling okay, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm feeling fine.
And you haven't really had much reflux because it's caused by reflux.
No, it's caused by reflux over time, apparently.
So if you don't know what reflux is, that's the acid from your stomach coming up the esophagus, up the tube, the food pipe, and causing damage.
Damage, basically,
to the esophagus, to the tissue.
But I've occasionally had indigestion, but the reason that I went to the doctor was because I'd had a pain through my chest for a couple of weeks, and I went to the doctor. I decided to go to the doctor, as one should do when you have things like that, and I had major sort of heart tests a year ago, which all came out absolutely fine. and no further what do you call it, referral or anything was needed after that. I was discharged back to my GP. And with this one, when I went and saw our GP last week, he said that he thought it was something to do with acid, and since that I've had blood tests, I've had the X-ray, and then on Monday, I think it was, I got a call saying we've got a cancellation for a gastroscopy on Wednesday. Do you want to come in? Otherwise it won't be for a few weeks. So,
and let's just quickly explain what a gastroscopy is. It's a camera which is on a long tube, and it is fed down your esophagus. You're awake.
You're awake.
You can be sedated if you want, but you didn't.
I wasn't.
We both had one.
We had throat spray.
They spray your throat first.
Yeah.
We both had them.
And that feels really funny.
Yeah.
It feels as though your throat is sort of tightening. But they do tell you that is what happens.
Yeah. And, it's passed into the stomach and down the esophagus so they can see what's going on.
And take photos.
Yeah, they take photos. You've got photos. Don't show them. People might be having their dinner. And, it's fantastic technology.
It's amazing.
Really, it's brilliant.
And when they were really relaxing as well. And we were having
it's low light,
good,
isn't it?
It's low light, yeah. I almost went to sleep at one point with the pipe down my throat.
They know what they're doing.
They were very good. But this thing, it has lots of different lights on the end of it. And I was lying sort of on my side with my chin down, my mouth open. And then this sort of thing with just lots of flashing lights was coming towards me. And I thought it was like War of the Worlds. It was just quite bizarre.
And your reaction is to choke, but they say to you, you can breathe normally, we're not going down your windpipe, we're going down your food tube.
That's what I found amazing, because they did say you can breathe through your nose and your mouth perfectly normally. And I could breathe through my nose. And because I'm a bit of a mouth breather well, I thought I'm going to try and breathe through my mouth. I bet I can't, but I could.
Yeah, of course.
So I could breathe quite happily.
Initially, as it's going down, there is that slight panic. Was the nurse holding your hand?
No. The nurse had her. There were 4 of them.
Yeah, they're very good.
And they were sort of just moving me a little bit and things like this. And they were and chatting and saying things to each other that I didn't understand whatsoever.
And also they're just getting on with their work, and they the experts, they're in that clinic doing what they do every day. And isn't it fantastic that we have that we have this technology for a start, and B, that we've got dedicated teams of people who can do this and do it quickly. Because they took biopsies, didn't they?
They took 2 biopsies,
Yeah, you're lucky. They took 12 out of my stomach that time.
I'm surprised there was anything left in your stomach.
I know.
They took 12.
Especially in those
days. But they kept the biopsies. There's an even thinner thing that goes down the tube, and it winds its way down.
They feed it down.
Feed it down, and then she went open, and the guy went got, and she went close, and then
pull it out again.
And then they said because
they're grabbing the biopsy. For those
biting.
of you who don't know, they just grab a little bit of the tissue. And did you feel that?
No, not at all.
No, you see, I felt them when they did it to me, but it was in my stomach. They were taking them.
They
were taking them from my stomach.
Yeah.
They were taking it from your throat.
They took it from 30 centimetres and 35
I guess you might feel a bit of soreness later.
Yeah, well, I don't feel anything at the moment.
Because
I do feel my throat.
But you might feel a bit of soreness later.
I might do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might not. With a fish finger sandwich, I think I'll be fine.
I don't think you're having a fish finger sandwich tonight. You're having rice and lentils with no sauce, no spices, no tomatoes, nothing.
No.
We've got to change our lifestyle now. We're going to have to become
they did say
a mung
to test.
bean and rice casserole connoisseurs from now on.
I don't think so.
No, they have said you've got to look at lifestyle and you've got to lose weight.
Got to lose weight.
Tomorrow morning, you and I, you know what we're going to do?
We're going to go and meet Jane Fonda.
We're going to meet Jane Fonda. We're going to do a Jane Fonda.
She's joining us tomorrow morning at about 7:30, something like that. After a cup of tea.
We could film it.
And then we're going to be marching with her for about 6 hours.
We're going to start the workout, the Jane Fonda walkout, available on YouTube.
She doesn't come to everybody's house though, she's just coming to ours.
Oh, you might have just been diagnosed with a serious condition, but it doesn't make you any less whatever. I can't think what I'm going to say now. Anyway, so how do you feel about it?
What, doing the Jane Fonda?
No, come on, back to subject now. How do you feel about having that diagnosis?
Well, it is what it is.
I know, it is.
And I
Did you feel a bit worried by it?
What, when they told me? No.
What, because you didn't bloody know what it meant, did you?
Well, no, they explained what it was, and they explained that I'm going to be, it's going back to the doctor, and then the doctor will refer me to the gastrology department at our local hospital, Ealing Hospital, and then I'll be under their care, and I'll go back. At the moment, they think it's every 2 years I'll go back, but depending upon what the biopsies say, it may be more frequent than that. But at the moment, the lovely doctor and the others said 2 years, so we'll see how it goes.
That's a relatively good prognosis.
I think so.
Yeah, well, it is from what I've read about the condition, because they said, it could be anything between 3 months and a couple of years, depending on the severity of it.
Well,
so it can't be that severe.
It's a couple of years at the moment.
Yeah.
We'll let you know if that changes.
And it's not what's called a curable condition. It is treatable should it get worse.
Manageable and treatable.
Yeah. So there are things they can do. But clearly it's not got to that stage with you, which is great.
Yeah.
And really that comes to the crux of this video.
Yeah.
And if we're going to be wily and clever about our own being, about our own lives, that involves ensuring that if you have something that you're worried about, go and see your bloody doctor.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that like that because it's you guys out there who are the culprits, who are the ones that are less likely to go and see your doctor, especially if it's something embarrassing. So we know that for a fact. So we're the same, you know.
I've been very lucky with my doctor because at 40, because I was overweight, I lost, what did I lose? I lost something like 9 stone. And that obviously had sort of significant changes for me. I put 2.5 of those back on now, by the way. So, but anyway, I have gone to the doctor every 6 months since I was 40, and my blood pressure and cholesterol and all of that has been checked because I do have elevated blood pressure, which is take a drug for. My cholesterol has always been relatively low, so that's good. Though during stressful times with Dad dying, things like that, it did actually increase, which I was fascinated by actually. That happens, but and of course at the moment, with Mum and various other things, it's quite stressful. But as Richard says, if you feel that something isn't right, do go to the doctor and go sooner rather than later.
So there you go. That's a slightly different subject tonight. We wanted to share it with you because we think it's quite important to share things like that. Don't worry, it's not going to cast a serious cloud over what we do for you.
No.
But we do think it's important to reflect both sides of the story. You know, we're normal human beings who, you know, just because we're on YouTube doesn't make us superhuman.
Aren't you superhuman anyway?
Well, I am.
Yeah.
You know, but you know what I'm saying. We're real people with real issues, and it's important to share them with you too. So I think that's it, isn't it? That's all
Yeah,
we've got
I think
to say.
so. Are we going to have fish finger sandwich?
I don't know.
I think we are.
It's up to what you want.
I think we are tonight. I think it's
We're meant to be having light food.
Yeah, we need to have it soon. Well, that's the other thing. We've been told to eat earlier in the day and have more meals.
Yeah,
So
well, we will have to have... Well, we need to have a vegetable. Can't just have a fish finger sandwich.
We'll have vegetable. We got lettuce and we've got other things. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure I want a fish finger and lettuce sandwich. It doesn't really appeal to me.
No.
Really.
What do you want?
I don't know.
No.
Something... I mean, I always like having light meals. I'd be quite happy to have light meals.
Like what? Oh, I felt it then. Oh, I felt a little...
Yeah, well, just be careful because you've got an open wound effectively down there.
I know, yeah.
So just be careful.
Yeah, don't laugh too.
Well, no. Or else you don't want to end up at A&E with a whatever.
No.
Doodah.
No, don't want that.
Thingamajig.
No.
So we're saying good evening to you. We hope this isn't too serious for you, but like I say, we have to reflect both sides of life.
Yeah, the yin and the yang.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, don't worry, we're fine, he's fine, I'm looking after him.
I think I'm looking after myself. Yeah.
Shut up, I'm very nurturing. I provide a beautiful environment for you.
Oh dear.
Clean house,
But
clean
you can't
clothes.
melt a candle though. No.
Well, like I say, you know, that's not...
Wasn't that was in Kraken Jack, wasn't it? Kraken Jack. That was in Cracker Jack, wasn't it? Couldn't melt a candle.
Was it?
Wasn't that, what was his name?
I don't know,
Something
Paul. I
Stewart.
think you've been affected by your endoscopy. Anyway, we're going now.
Yeah.
No, that's Crush a Grape.
Yeah, but he had other ones as well. Crush a Grape was
That's
the main
Crush a
one.
Grape. Couldn't melt a candle.
I think that's quite
That's
a good one.
ridiculous,
Actually. Couldn't
Paul.
melt a candle.
Anyway, we're saying goodbye now. Have a lovely evening. And remember... Remember what? I've forgotten.
You've forgotten what to remember.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know what I was going to say now. Remember...
The 5th of November.
No, it's the wrong time of year for that. Let's not go backwards in time.
That's going forwards. It's next November.
Oh.
We're saying goodbye now.
Bye then. Bye.
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 Bye.